Imagine getting reincarnated or blessed in a fantasy world. You're standing in a grand hall waiting for the gods to grant you a legendary animal blessing. You hope for a majestic dragon, a fierce white wolf, or maybe a celestial phoenix, but instead, you get blessed by a giant muscle-bound gorilla. Welcome back, anime fans. Today we are breaking down the hilariously unique first episode of the Gorilla God's Go-To Girl. Our story begins in a massive academy hall where a young noble girl named Sophia is attending her divine blessing ceremony. In this world, every young noble receives a card that reveals which animal god protects them. We see her classmates proudly showing off highly respectable blessings like hawks, sharks, and exotic creatures. Sophia steps up to the altar, sweating bullets, praying for something normal. But as the magical portal flashes, the card she draws features a massive, flexing, realistic gorilla. Sophia's reaction is pure gold. While the headmaster announces it with a straight face, Sophia instantly visualizes her social life crumbling. And spoiler alert, it does. Cut to the classroom, and Sophia is immediately isolated. The typical mean girl clique, led by a haughty blonde noble, corners her. They start mocking her, saying a brute beast like a gorilla is completely unfitting for a delicate noble lady. They basically tell her she has no future in high society. Sophia tries to play it cool, but inside she's crying tears of pure embarrassment. But it gets worse. A gorilla god doesn't just give you a name, it gives you gorilla traits. We find out that Sophia has accidentally inherited monstrous superhuman strength. When she tries to casually eat an apple under a tree, she literally crushes it into liquid pulp with her bare hands. When her hair gets tangled, she accidentally snaps her wooden comb right in half. She is terrified that if she isn't careful, she might accidentally break a door handle or crush someone's hand. Feeling completely out of place, Sophia hides away in the academy courtyard. Her only friend right now is a little local squirrel whom she gently feeds bread, very carefully so she doesn't accidentally launch the poor thing into orbit. Soon she is called into the headmaster's office. The old man drops a massive bombshell. Because of her unique blessing and uncontrollable physical power, she can no longer remain in the standard noble curriculum. High society won't accept a girl who can bench press a horse. Sophia envisions herself getting thrown into a medieval dungeon or sent to a hard labor camp. Desperate, she begs the headmaster for another choice. Smiling, the headmaster hands her a new document. He tells her there is one place where her monstrous strength won't be feared but highly celebrated: the Royal Knights Training Academy. Sophia is horrified. The Knights Academy is famous for being a brutal, hyper-masculine boot camp filled with the toughest men in the kingdom, but with no other choice, she accepts. The next morning, Sophia arrives at the military academy grounds. On her way, she spots an elderly merchant struggling with a broken carriage wheel. Wanting to help, she casually walks over and lifts 3 massive wooden barrels of wine all by herself without breaking a sweat. The old man is completely flabbergasted, and Sophia realizes she really can't hide her gorilla power anymore. When she steps onto the training field, the reality of her situation hits her. She is standing in a sea of muscular, intimidating male trainees. She is quite literally the only girl there. Suddenly, the crowd parts as the elite commanding officers walk in. Leading them is a handsome, green-eyed captain who serves as the head instructor. He looks over the roster and locks eyes with Sophia, completely stunned to see a noble girl dressed in a training uniform. The physical exam begins immediately, and the instructors aren't holding back. First up is the sprint test. A cocky trainee steps up to the line, determined to show off. When the flag drops, he blasts off, leaving a cloud of dust. Sophia steps up next. She is terrified of failing and being sent away, so she decides to give it her all. As she runs, the massive, glowing aura of the gorilla god manifests behind her. With a ferocious roar, she rips through the track so fast that the sheer wind pressure shatters the brick wall at the end of the courtyard. The instructors and trainees look on in pure horror as Sophia stands there completely unharmed, politely apologizing for breaking the school property. Next up is the vertical rope climb test. A beautiful, mysterious black-haired trainee steps up and effortlessly scales the massive brick tower like a ninja, jumping down gracefully. The bar is set incredibly high. Now it's time for the cocky blonde trainee from earlier to climb. He's eager to prove himself, but halfway up the massive tower, his strength gives out. His hands slip and he begins falling to what could be a fatal drop. Without a second thought, Sophia rushes to the rope. Channeling her inner gorilla god, she scales the tower at blinding speed. Just as the boy falls past her, she reaches out and catches him by his shirt collar with one hand. The rope begins to snap under their combined weight. Sophia looks down, calculates the distance, and decides to jump. She holds the boy tight and leaps from the tower, landing heavily on the ground, creating a massive crater of dust. As the dust clears, the blonde trainee opens his eyes, staring up at Sophia like she is his savior. He completely bursts into tears, thanking her for saving his life, completely falling for her heroic charm. After the chaotic exam, Sophia sits in the academy infirmary. Her hands are scraped and bruised from the rough rope rescue. Suddenly, the handsome green-eyed captain walks in. Instead of reprimanding her for destroying the wall, he gently takes her hand and begins wrapping it in medical bandages. He looks at her with deep respect and tells her that her strength strength isn't something to be ashamed of. It's an incredible gift. He formally welcomes her to the Royal Knights, promising that they will help her control and master her divine powers. Sophia blushes, realizing that maybe this gorilla blessing wasn't a curse after all, but the start of an amazing new life surrounded by handsome knights who adore her. And that wraps up the chaotic, hilarious first episode. What did you guys think of Sophia's crazy strength? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button for episode 2, and I'll see you in the next video.